At last, I have finished my screenplay. Now what? Someone needs me!
I can help. Let me tell you about local screenwriting opportunities.
Okay.
Local screenwriting opportunities! Jobs. Working in the industry allows you to gain relevant experience, especially right out of college. Getting a job in the industry is something that people would really benefit from. You could get some freelance work, and one resource to find that would be LinkedIn. You could also go straight into a career. Comcast owns Universal and NBC, so they're closely connected. They have the Universal Writers Program. Or you could go for an internship. Typically those are unpaid, but you never know. So ABC and Disney is a great place to find an internship. ABC has their writing program through the ABC Talent Development. They offer both internships and jobs. Universal has their Campus to Career internship program as well. And these are big name, big brand, great experience places to work. The Florida film industry is not great right now, but that's because Florida does not offer tax incentives for the film industry specifically, unlike other major areas like Georgia or Louisiana. Film still comes to the area, so work can be found occasionally. Such projects have included Spring Breakers, Magic Mike, Bring It On 3 and 4, Sydney White with Amanda Bynes, Ocean's 11, Waterboy, Lethal Weapon 3, and more. And these are the movies that were filmed specifically in Central Florida, not north or the south. But that does not mean things won't change in the future. New legislation could be submitted or passed. There's definitely hope. If legislation is passed, the Florida film industry will definitely take off, and scriptwriters will be necessary. Yay! If you want to learn more after graduation, taking more classes could help. There are 2 MFA programs in Florida. The first one is at UCF in Orlando, of course. FSU, located in Tallahassee, has a film program that involves 2 different tracks. This program is recommended by Michael Walsh, someone who has worked several years in the industry. If an MFA is not necessarily what you want, but you still want to learn, there are programs for that as well. The Florida Film Academy is located in Winter Garden, which is near Orlando, and offers courses for adults. Are you a people person, or do you hide in your room and listen to the friends in your imagination or the ones on a screen? Either way, you should go outside and work with others on your script, baby. Meeting with a group can strengthen your writing community and promote the discipline to continue writing while improving. There are various groups to meet with for screenwriting specifically. Meetup has a specific group in Orlando already ready and just waiting for you. The Florida Writers Association has writers groups. They meet all over Florida. There are also residential programs you can join. These programs don't focus specifically on screenwriting, but rather have all types of artists living together, creating and developing their specific craft. Both of these require a bit of travel, but are still located within Florida. Therefore, I count that as local because it is more local than, I don't know, Canada or Australia. So the Studios of Key West meets in Key West, and the Hermitage Artist Retreat meets in Englewood, which is between Sarasota and Fort Myers on the West Coast. So submissions, you take your script and you give it to somebody. So online submissions can be done pretty much anywhere and are not necessarily restricted to a specific state. Contests can be good because winning an award can contribute to one's notoriety, which may lead to work within the industry. So starting with submissions, Den of Geek has listed the top places to submit in 2015. But these places are top-notch and some of the most prestigious. So the Blacklist is a respectable place to submit. They accept lots of screenplays. They do charge, but you can also pay for feedback. Amazon Studios is free to submit. And today it's definitely on par with Netflix. And you can choose to have their people critique your work. You can send it with the option for their people to collaborate on it, or you can just keep it private. The Nickel Fellowships in Screenwriting, they only take movies. It does cost to submit, but it is highly prestigious, and it's only available to those who have made less than $25,000 that year while working in TV and film. There are actually 5 winners, and 4 Screenwriting is for those also without TV or feature credits, so it's an amateur competition. There are 12 winners. You are then invited to a series of lectures, and you're paid to participate in these courses and to create drafts of a script. For Screenwriting is known to offer ways into the industry. Contests are a way to submit your script and maybe win an award, which people are super into. Whoops. Pretend that didn't just happen. Okay, so Script Pipeline, they take finished scripts, screenplay or TV pilots, and they take log lines for TV or movies. When you submit, they also offer notes, developmental notes, treatment notes, or just general notes. Winning a contest can lead to other work. Harry Dunham wrote the feature Militia that won, and it was retitled The Incident at Sparrow Creek Lumber, which is now actually being made with industry actors attached to projects like Game of Thrones, The Hateful Eight, and The Hurt Locker. Also, Evan Doherty won for his original screenplay, Shrapnel. This was a couple of years ago, and since then, he has either wrote or contributed to titles such as Snow White and the Huntsman, the adaptation of Divergent, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Tomb Raider. Screencraft is also a good source for contests. So, okay, now you can look at that word again. Local contests are for Florida residents only. There are film festivals all across Florida, but that requires a finished film rather than a completed screenplay. The Florida Writers Association holds a few awards contests throughout the year. This includes the mediums of literature and screenwriters, though. However, the Doris Clare Memorial Award specifically caters to the screenwriting genre. Resources! So a woman named Amanda Caswell wrote a blog about her industry journey. She began actually in Orlando. She answered an ad on Craigslist to be a screenwriter for children's theater. Opportunities presented themselves, but she made herself known. She put herself out there. And in her downtime, she continued writing, which is probably one of the most important parts. Whether you're working or not, just keep writing. So she had a friend who worked at Nickelodeon, and she sent her script in there and was eventually hired. Her advice to people was just to start on smaller projects. No small parts, only small actors. Well, we're not actors, we're writers. So write one word, boom, you're a writer. So take on small projects if you need to. Do what you can. So you can work on commercials for TV and the web, write plays for a local theater, write for cable access, work on personal projects, take classes if possible, find a mentor, network, and keep your portfolio up to date. Filmgate Miami is obviously located in Miami, but it's still a great resource to begin working on your film. They allow you to register, check out equipment, and hire actors to make your own movie. Do what you gotta do. I believe in you. You can also interview someone in the industry. Production Hub is a massive resource of people seeking work or having already worked in the industry. So reaching out and asking people questions. People aren't actually scary. I know, it's weird, but nice people like to help other people. So just give it a try. Industry advice. All right, so A. Wayne Carter has worked over 2 decades in the film industry. He's sold more than 10 feature screenplays to major players like Universal and Fox. He currently lives in Orlando and is in the middle of working in independent film. And he's also like super nice, which is awesome. So he suggested Inktip, which is good for contests and has tons of resources to find out more about the industry. He said to be wary of contests that take your money solely to fund their own festivals. Before submitting any scripts that you finish, register the script with the Writers Guild or copyright it. If you want your script to possibly be funded, consider making a promo video or a trailer and even post it on YouTube. So LA, that's the big question, right? So going to LA will help you understand the industry, but it's not necessary to live there or even stay there forever. You might need an agent if you're pursuing script writing as a career though. So Michael Walsh started in Orlando and eventually moved to LA for several years. He has worked on over 75 features. He has since moved back to Orlando to put down roots. So like we went over before, he said Orlando is not a huge market for original content, but anything is possible. He seemed pretty hopeful. The larger markets include LA, New York City, Atlanta, Chicago, Austin, Texas, and Miami. If you get no on a script, he says that does not always mean that your script was bad and that you're a horrible person and don't have any talent. It just might be not the right time for that studio. So don't lose heart. It is better to self-fund, he says. So self-fund a well-done trailer rather than underfund the whole script and making your whole movie. So he says that you should end up living in LA at some point, at least 5 to 10 years, to build up your network if you want to work in the industry full-time. This will show your commitment. He says to just kind of stay sharp. You got to network, you got to write, watch content. Even if you wouldn't normally watch a specific show or movie, watch it critically because it was paid for and made by a studio. So see what they're up to. Read books on craft, on dialogue, on character and story arc, and so on. Be professional, be aware of your persona as a writer, and be prepared. Keep your personal life together and be ready to go at a moment's notice.